Welcome back to Evolution Workshop. Today we're going to get into a project that I probably should have built years ago. I've been doing a lot more chisel work lately and realized that having a wooden mallet would probably be a lot more comfortable than using a hammer or whatever else I can find around here. So today we're going to raid the scrap bin and going to build a wooden mallet. Let's get started. This is the hammer I've been using, and I like the size of the handle, so I'm using that as a template to sketch out the shape. I took some measurements off that sketch and hit all the scrap bins and piles that I have in the shop until I finally came up with what I wanted. Alright, I just spent way too much time looking through the pile and I'm still not 100% sure how I want to do this, but I've got some maple, has some really nice, if you can see that, it's got some really nice chatoyance to it, a little bit of quilting, and I think I'm going to use this for the outside edges. And I'm going to sandwich some walnut in between just for an accent. So, I need to rip these down, get everything flat and straight, and then I can start laying out the parts. I've been out of the shop for about 5 weeks since I finished the jewelry box, and I went on a long vacation. I wanted to do a quick project to get the wheels rolling again, but then I started thinking about how I could make this with a chaotic multicolored pattern, and it really started to get out of hand before I even turned the saw on. I realized I was just trying to make it look cool and overcomplicate it so it would make a good video and thumbnail, so I took a step back, reset, and we're just going with the classic maple and walnut. Alright, so here's our blanks, our handle, and the two pieces we're going to make the head from. This will basically just cut in half. This one I need to put angle on two ends of it so we can make a wedge for the handle to fit in. So we'll get this laid out. Cut these down to size, and then we'll cut our angles over here on the table saw. I set the miter gauge to 2 degrees, and I cut the walnut pieces in half. I can just take one piece, flip it upside down, and that'll give me my dovetail shape that I can lock the handle in with. After I set the miter gauge back to 0, I cut my maple pieces down to 5 inches, then I marked out the final length for the walnut. Cuts for the walnut were getting pretty short and sketchy using the miter gauge, so I pulled out the big sled so I could clamp the pieces in place. I know I may not always appear to be the safest person in the shop, but I do have my limits. Once those were cut, I could spread some glue out and assemble the mallet head. Make sure my angles are going away from each other. I'll pop a couple brads in here to hold it. Alright, let that dry, then we can get back on the handle. Alright, next I need to cut a shoulder on this so that it won't fall straight through the hole on the head. And I'm going to do that using this tenoning jig. If you don't have one of these, you can make a simple one with plywood that just slides over your fence. I happen to have this from many years ago, and if you've watched the channel much, you know I don't really do a lot of traditional joinery, so why I have this, I don't know. But I'm going to use it. After fiddling around to get the jig set up, I quickly remembered why I don't use this thing very often. It's actually kind of a pain in the butt. I made the side cuts on a test piece, and then I moved on to the handle itself until I had a snug fit in the hole. After I made the cuts for the front and back faces, I used the miter gauge to cut the shoulders to the final depth. I did some final cleanup with a chisel and made a pass through the joiner to flatten the bottom face of the head so I could finally have a perfect fit. The last thing I needed to do was cut the slots for the wedges to drive in, so I drilled a couple of relief holes and then cut those slots on the bandsaw. Alright, I got a good fit there. Nice and flush on the bottom. Now I just need some wedges to fill that in. Cut those over on the table saw and the taper jig. At least that's what I thought I was going to do, but the taper jig wouldn't move far enough to the left, so I ended up cutting those out on the bandsaw instead. Alright, before I drive those all the way in, I want to shape my handle and shape the head a little bit. Sand everything down, and then we'll put it all together. I made the handle super short because I always choke up close to the head when I'm chiseling anyway. All I really needed was to round it off a bit and add a little bit of recess for my pinky to keep it from slipping out of my hand. Alright, that's a good start on the handle. I'll come back in with a rasp and probably some sanders, whatever. We'll get that rounded up a lot more. Really make it fit my hand before we put it all together. Alright, for the head of the mallet, I'm actually going to put about a 2-degree bevel on the front face, and I think I'm just going to put a curve across the top just to kind of break it up and take some of the chunkiness out of it. I ended up going with 5 degrees instead of 2 on the faces because it just felt right with the angle of my wrist when I was actually using the hammer. I set the miter gauge up to help me get a straight cut on both sides, and one thing to remember here is be sure you cut the faces to match the angles of the wedge in the middle so that they're in the right orientation after the handle's installed. Made sure the faces were flat on the sander and smoothed out the curve just a little bit. I'll finish shaping this after it's fully assembled. Before I glue it all together, I want to get the handle finalized, so I roughed it out with a rasp and then I worked it down with some sandpaper until I finally had a perfect fit for my hand. One thing that's cool about making your own tools is that you get to customize it to fit you instead of just adapting to a standard shape that somebody else made. That'll work. I spread out a good amount of glue on everything and drove the wedges in as evenly as possible. Probably could have gotten away with just dry fitting the handles and gluing the wedges into the slots, but why take the chance of having a wobbly head if it dries out in the winter? Because, you know, nobody wants a wobbly head, right? If you like what you're seeing, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you really want to help keep the builds coming, maybe consider joining the community over on Patreon for more behind-the-scenes updates, chats, and a little more personal connection. I'll leave a link in the description. Either way, thanks for the support and thanks for being here. Good on the bottom, good on top. Get all the excess glue wiped off. Come back in the morning, we'll cut that off, finish shaping it, put some finish on it. I just want to round the head up a little bit more and take off all the sharp edges, so I'm roughing it out on the belt sander and then I'll smooth it up by hand. Now, before I add the finish, I dropped it in the S1 for some branding and gave it one final pass with a sanding block. Going with a tung oil finish to seal this up, the oil should soak in and cure over time. I don't want to add any kind of wax to it that might transfer to the piece I'm working on if I happen to use it for persuasion during assembly at some point. All right, that's gonna wrap it up for the mallet project, and it's a good project to get back in the shop and get things going again. Hopefully you enjoyed watching the process. If you want to see more small builds like this, check out some of these videos over here, and we'll see you in the next one. I think I'll call him Stubby. Seems to fit.